Hey, what is up YouTube? Welcome back to another show. And yes, the scenery is different. I've got so much news, some stimulus check information that is the most up to date that is out there. We've got all of that news here for you today. And guys, we are in Texas. Hey, what is up YouTube family? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is the channel where we keep you up to date on everything concerning stimulus checks, as well as let you know of things that are happening in this country. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. We do a ton of giveaways just to say thank you for your love and support. And if you want to jump in on the free giveaways that we do, all you have to do is hit that subscribe button and smash that like button. But we want to let you know all the great things that are happening, stimulus checks going out to millions of people. And yes, we are in Texas. We're actually going to a leadership conference here in Texas, Houston, and having a great time. Went to it tonight. It was amazing. But you know that I've got to bring you guys these news to keep everyone updated. I love you guys. So there's so many things that are happening. Like, when's the last time that you drove by a gas station? If you haven't noticed, gas prices are going back up, and Joe Biden is doing everything he can to lower them back down. I have all that news as well as stimulus check information, so let's dive on the screen. So Biden is announcing more steps to try and lower gas prices, including the next oil release from the reserve. We're keeping all tools on the table is what they're saying. They're tapping into the reserve that we're supposed to be reserving right now, but he's trying to win your vote. Some of you viewers down in the comments said that he's trying to buy everyone's vote by making all these big, good changes that should have been done a long time ago. He's trying to get them done before the midterm election. So in order for him to lower gas prices, he's having to tap into the reserve so that way he can bring the gas down and make you happy, and then that maybe will buy your vote. So guys, let us know if that will change your mind down in the comments below. But President Joe Biden said on Wednesday that we will announce a series of steps that the administration says will address the oil supply crunch and lower gas prices, which have been a major domestic concern ahead of the November midterms. And this is all to gain votes of the American people. So one way that he's going to gain votes is by lowering gas prices. Everybody's been complaining, saying they shouldn't be this high. In fact, it's a lot higher than it used to be back in the day. And what are they going to do about it? So he is jumping into that. And here on the screen, Biden administration to tap into the oil reserve again ahead of the midterms. Oil prices shot higher last week after the oil producing cartel OPEC and its allied countries announced that they would cut their collective production by 2 million barrels a day. So if you think about how much barrels they're making and they're going to cut that back, well, that's going to deprive us of what we need every day just to keep vehicles on the road. So this is where he's having to get into what we have in our reserve in order to lower those prices down. This is what he said. The Biden administration will release 15 million barrels of oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve in December in a bid to drive fuel prices down. This is the senior Biden administration is what they said. The release will account for the last of the 180 million barrels that President Joe Biden authorized the Energy Department to disperse in March, leaving another 400 million barrels in the reserve. The administration will also look into a possible new authorization to ship more barrels after that, depending on the market conditions. So it's not like we have just a ton sitting there not being used. Guys, tapping into this, sooner or later, it's going to run out. So hopefully they've got a game plan to get things in order like they need to be, so that way everyone has gas in their vehicles. Now, moving on to some stimulus check information. State stimulus checks. These are states that are still mailing out tax rebates. Eligible Virginians should receive $250 rebates by Halloween, with other states mailing out checks through November. So many of you on the comments have said, well, are things getting pushed back to November? Well, no, many states are sending them out this month, while there are a ton of states that are sending them out next month. So depending on your state, just kind of depends on when they're going to send them out. So Massachusetts is giving back nearly $3 billion in tax revenue starting in early November. This is something that Massachusetts was waiting on the auditor to tell them how much to send to their residents, and then they're trying to get everybody paid by November. And then you moving on to South Carolina, as long as you filed your taxes by October 17th, you would be getting your check by this year, because if you don't do it by this time, it's going to move into next year. So the biggest question is your state sending out a rebate or stimulus check? How much money could you get? And this is something that everyone is asking. California has already been sending out those checks. Colorado has already been sending out those checks as long as you filed by October 17th. That was the deadline to receive their refund by January 31st. Now, January 31st is just like the last day that it should be going out, but you should receive it between now and next year. Delaware also has jumped on board to give their residents a $300 stimulus check by this year. So when I say this year, many of them have sent out stimulus checks by mail. Well, it's taken a couple of weeks to get all of those checks out. I mean, it takes manpower to physically print them out, put them in an envelope, put a stamp on it, put your information on it, and then mail it out. So those things just take a little bit longer than a direct deposit. Florida has only done things for the child tax credit. So there is that. Georgia has been sending out checks of $250 for single filers, $375 for head of household, and $500 for joint filers. Those checks will continue to go out until the end of the year. Now, Hawaii was one that direct deposits came out September 12th. Those payments were going out to tons and tons of residents in Hawaii. We actually got told from some viewers that they received their check. But here's the thing. Physical checks probably won't go out until late October. This is depending on how much checks they have available in stock. All coming down to manpower, having the people on staff to get this done. So if you haven't received it in Hawaii, those checks still could be coming. Idaho started sending those checks out, and you can actually go to the Idaho website, the portal, to check your stimulus status. Illinois has been sending out checks this month, trying to get everybody paid for, but the biggest thing is this: when it comes to the stimulus checks, the actual physical checks, it's taking a little bit longer, so it may be before the end of the year. Indiana is in the same boat, $125. Regardless of your income, they printed out 1.7 million paper checks. Indiana residents who haven't received a rebate by November 1st should contact the state's Department of Revenue. As long as you filed your taxes by October 17th, that's the date that they're all giving, then you should receive your check by November 1st. Maine started sending out those $850 checks. You can check your refund status on the Via Maine's government portal. Massachusetts, we've already read about. Minnesota has been sending out, as of October 3rd, a $450 bonus payment to frontline workers. Those will continue to go out the rest of this month. New Jersey has really kind of targeted the homeowners and the rental program, giving out $450 checks, and they said that these people should receive it no later than May of next year, guys. So that is going to come out between now and next year, whether through a check or direct deposit. New Mexico has already sent payments out, but what I've seen with New Mexico, which is my home state, is that those checks have been delayed due to having people that could actually get those mailed out. And several of you have asked about it, but one thing that I've learned, that if it comes to a delayed process of getting any sort of stimulus check or money, I always contact them to say, hey, am I even eligible? And if I'm getting it, when am I getting it? So I would definitely reach out. New York, well, guess what? 3 million New Yorkers, state homeowners, are receiving up to a $1,050 property tax rebate. Those checks average from $425 all the way up to $1,050. Those are going out this month until the end of the year. Pennsylvania is a lot like New Jersey. They're targeting those homeowners in the rental program, giving them up to $650, but those deadlines have been extended that they can actually file the application by December 31st. Something you might want to keep an eye on. Now, South Carolina is October 17th deadline, which was the other day where you had to file your taxes in order to get a check this year of $800. So guys, those checks will start going out in late November or December as long as you filed your taxes by the deadline. Virginia, the last state with giving $250 for single filers, $500 for joint. Those payments will be mailed by printed check or direct deposit. And guess what? Those checks will hit your bank account by Halloween. Virginia, Halloween, October 31st. So guys, that is all the information concerning stimulus checks. I hope that information helped. And again, maybe you didn't see your state on the list. Let us know down in the comments below and we will do the research for you. We have done a lot of research on Texas, Louisiana, Utah, Ohio, North Carolina, and Michigan, Wisconsin, and those states are, they're still working out the process. They're working out the kinks in order to figure out how to get you guys paid, and we will do our best to stay on top of that news. Guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to jump in on all of the giveaways that we're doing. We want to keep bringing you the news, keep you guys updated. That is our job and our promise to you. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to become a part of the True Life Investing family. And until next time, I'm John Miro. Peace.